What's up, ladies and gents? It's your boy Vision here, back at you with another video. In today's video, we're going to be telling the story of how I dislocated my kneecap. So, about 2 months ago, I had the most generic day ever. Got up at 6, went to school because I'm a transfer. I drove to school, hopped out the car, easy day. It was like the most generic day. Kid you not. Like, we had something good for lunch. I'd made good grades all day. No one got onto our class or me. Like, no one, even got mad at me in my class. Like, it was just, the chillest day ever. So, 8th period comes around, which I do theater and I do PE because I'm not, a sports person. So, I do my PE, and, we're, playing kickball, I think. And, usually we work out, but, that day we're doing kickball. And, I was doing really good all game. I'm pretty good at kickball considering everyone else in my PE class are unathletic just like me. So we're playing kickball and I was stealing bases, right? And so every time I would literally steal all 3 bases and was about to run to home. And I would do that pretty much every time because the person never even looked behind them. So I ran to home and they saw me and they threw the ball and I slid. Well, I slid and I touched the base and I felt something on my knee and I thought it was maybe a pebble or some dirt from the gym. So I kind of stood halfway up. I didn't even stand all the way up, and I looked down at my knee and it was my kneecap was on the side of my leg. It took a fat 90-degree turns to the other side of my leg. And I was ugh! And I fell back down to the ground and I grabbed it and I was and I screamed really loud once, and then I screamed really loud twice, and everyone's standing there just looking at me and smiling, like I was playing some kind of joke. I was like, "What the frick do you not get?" I was like, "My leg!" And the teacher and one of my classmates is smiling at me the first screen, smiling at me the second screen, and then he looks and sees my knee and he holds it his mouth like he was about to throw up. And my teacher was like, "Everyone out!" And so everyone got out besides me, my teacher, and 2 other ladies that were just in there before. And he was holding my kneecap to a point where it wouldn't go even worse, and he was slowly kind of helping me push it back. But he was I need y'all to go get med. Go get med. Which med, in my school, is literally one poor lady that is pretty good, but she's the librarian, the med, everything. And so they were she came in there and she's like, "That's gonna be needing 911 attention," or not 911, but ambulance. So they called ambulance and they were like, "Yo, I need an ambulance dispatched out here." And my school is, keep in mind, in the middle of nowhere, and I'm a transfer from a different town, so they called the town I originally live in. It took them 45 minutes to get out there. I'm laying on the ground, and there's this one lady teacher that she's always super sweet to me. She's like, "Oh, do you want some ice?" And I was like, "Yes!" And not for my knee, just to eat, to something to bite on. And then there's this old lady there, and she's the sweetest person ever. She's playing with my hair, making sure I was calm. And so after I freaked out a little bit, I may or may not have said I was gonna die somewhere in there. After freaking out a little bit, I took a deep breath. I did not cry a single time this whole time, right? I'm not a crier. I just scream. And anyway, I calmed down and I was breathing. And the superintendent walked in. He was like, "We're going to have a lockout just so that no one's in the hallway when the gurney comes down the hallway." And I was like, "All right. Well, if it was a lockdown, I'd really be screwed." And they all started laughing. They were like, "Even at this time, you have a sense of humor." And then I was like, "Can I call my mom?" And they were like, "You already called her." They already called her. I was like, "Just let me call her." And I was like, my mom's a lit son of a gun. She's super cool. I called her up and I was like, Mom, my knee." And she's like, "I know, baby, I'm coming." And she was coming to the school already. And she beat the ambulance there. And she knew 30 minutes after, which is so stupid. And she got there, and I was like, "Mom, are you okay?" She was like, "I'm the one needing to ask you if you're okay." And I was like, "No, Mom, it's all right. I'm good." So the ambulance people get there, and they're they gave me some medicine up my nose that did not help whatsoever. It barely numbed my pain. But I was like, whatever. Just get me to the hospital, get it back in place, get me to be, a walking person again, right? And so they come in with the gurney, and they were like, "We didn't bring a stretcher." If you don't know what a stretcher is, it's what is used to pick you up and put you on the gurney if you're broken. They didn't bring one of those. So they were like, honey, I need you to lay on your back." And I was like, okay. And I was like, I can't. They were in my teacher, let's call him Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob's like my favorite teacher in the whole school. He's like, listen, son, you're going to have to listen to them and do everything they say. It's going to hurt, but I believe in you. And I was like, all right. And I laid on my side, right? I laid on my back, and they put the sheet of the gurney under me, which did not help, and it hurt really bad. They put me on the gurney, and they wheeled me outside of the school into the ambulance. Well, the guy was like, yo, what hospital are we going to? There's like 3 around, like, and they're all the equal distances, but there's one, the 4th one is way farther, but it's a lot better of a hospital. So they were like, let's go there. And I was like, oh, just let me sleep. Like, and so he was like, he starts driving, and he's like, oh, we need to go tell his mom where we're going. So he got out and went to tell his mom and did not put the freaking thing in park. Did not put the thing in park. So my ambulance is like, going down this little steep hill, like without the brakes on. So he's like running down the sidewalk, like jumps in the freaking ambulance, slams on the thing, and it like dislocates my knee up a little bit. And I'm like, ah! It's like, what the frick was that? Like, did we really just have a wreck? Like, what is wrong with you psychotic people? And then she was like, no, he's good. We're going. And so we're going. It's feeling better. She hooked me up with an IV. You know, it looks better. And then she looks at me dead in the eye and says, cut or pull. And I thought she was talking about my leg. And I was like, oh, you are not cutting my leg off in the back of this freaking ambulance. No, she's like, cut or pull your pants, baby, so we can look at it. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, cut, I guess. So they cut my garbage sweatpants. I'm glad they were garbage, to like little freaking shorts. Anyway, they were looking at my knee. And then we started to go. This is kind of in between him like freaking neutralizing the car and a bunch of other crap. Anyway, so we get going, and after that all happened, and she was like just doing something on her laptop, probably like reporting all that happened. And I was like, ma'am, can you come hold my leg? Because it was like really shaky. Because we were like I said, we're in the middle of nowhere, so the roads aren't like good. And so I was like, okay, can you please hold it? Please hold it. And she was like, no, I'll put straps on it. She like straps it down. I was like, ah! So I left it at there. I was just like, I can deal with the pain. But I was in shock. So it was so cold, like so unbelievably cold in the ambulance. And I was like, ma'am, can you please turn it up? She walks to the thermostat and turns it 1 up. I wish I could have got up and just went right across that woman's face. She made me mad because she turned it up 1 degrees. I was like, what the frick is wrong with you? And so we finally get to the hospital, and the medicine they gave me made me super delusional. And I was like, this is a nice hospital, bruh. And like a sense of whack stuff. Like, I could have swore, and there was one time, so there's like not anything in that town. Like, it's a school. Like that's it. Like, it's like the town and the school. That's all that's in the town. Like, there's not even a gas station. It's so small. Anyway, and I was like, I didn't know we had a hospital here. They had been driving me for an hour. And I was like, I didn't know we had a hospital here. That was quick. Because I was like so high on all those drugs. And so we got to the hospital. They like wheeled me out, and I was like, yeah, dude, this is lit. Like, not even feeling the pain anymore. And she goes, are you hungry, baby? And I was like, yeah, I'm really hungry. She was like, we'll get you something after. I was like, after? Why'd you mention it? Anyway, so they wheeled me in, and there was like one nurse that came in, and she was like, oh, baby, what happened? I was like, first of all, I'm not a baby. Number 2, and I like told her the whole story. And as soon as I was done telling the story, another nurse walked in. She made me tell her the story. And then another nurse, I had to tell her the story. And then the doctor walked in and asked, and I was like, Mom, you tell her. You tell him. I ain't doing it again. So like, I'm just laying there like trying to be the most calm person ever. And I remember they were like, this medicine's gonna make you tired. And it wasn't anesthesia, but it was something else. But right before that, my mother, she comes in right before they were about to like just put it back into place when I was awake, and like without any pain meds. She walked in there, and she used to be a nurse, and she's bad A, like I said. She's like, listen to me, y'all need to give him some pain meds right now. And they were like, oh, yes ma'am. They gave me some pain meds. They gave me some medicine to like forget all that pain. So I just remember waking back up because I fell asleep after the procedure, then popping it back in. And I woke up, and I was like, my wings are there. Like, I made sure my rings were there because that's like the most important thing to me. I was like, and I like had my arms like stout, like I couldn't move, and my mom was like, "You're not paralyzed, you can move." I was like, "I'm not paralyzed." And I was like, "And it smells like chicken." She was like, "No, it doesn't." I was like, "Yes, it does. It smells like chicken." Like, I would not let it up. And then there was like a little light above me that I swear looked like an alien. Like, I can like even relate to this. And I was like, "That looks like an alien." I was like, "Can I call my friend?" And so I call my friend, and you'll hear about him in a future video, my boy Kyle. I called him and I was like, "Dude, this light looks like an alien." And he was like, "You okay, man?" And I was like, "No, but this alien, bruh." And he was like, "Bruh, this kid." So I call him, I call my brother. Like, I'm just out of it. And we get home, and like, you know, it was just such like a vegetative state for like 3 weeks. But now I'm a lot better. I still can't bend it completely like I could, but I'm still working on that. I took physical therapy forever. But I can just not remember how garbage that freaking, or I'll always remember how garbage that ambulance service was. That was a bunch of BS. But if you enjoyed this story and it laughed at any time, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and put on post notifications. Also, just dropped some new merch. It'll be in the description. Go check out my editor. He'll also be in the description. Not the editor of this video, but all my other videos. Go check him out. And, you know, the Twitter is down below. Make sure to go follow me on Twitter. Hit me up on Instagram. I love you guys so much. Have a great day. Peace.